My name is Jamie Paradise, and for my sustainability project, I decided to focus on the idea of reducing municipal solid waste in my home. There are two ways me and my family can approach this, either by preventing our waste or managing our waste. I figured I could do both, preventing the amount of waste my family will produce and managing the waste we do produce to minimize the amount of trash we have waiting to get picked up. I think it would be really cool to reduce the waste to the point where you really don't have much waste at all. One way to reduce your waste output is by making compost, which involves collecting organic matter and storing it so it breaks down naturally. You can put all food scraps or yard trimmings in your compost, so instead of throwing it away, throwing the things that you would throw away normally, you can compost these things and put them back in the environment as natural fertilizer. This is a win-win for both the earth and for yourself because you're reducing the amount of waste put in landfills and you are creating fertile soil for your yard. I decided to start doing this, and right now I have a compost in my garage. To start off, I gathered some soil from my yard and put it in a flower planter. Here's my compost. As you can see, it's in a garden planter. There's dirt in it, compost pellets in it, worms in it, and there's orange peels, banana peels, watermelon peels, cauliflower, flowers from outside. There's all sorts of organic material in it. The only two expenses I had to make this were the worms and the pellets. I ordered 200 worms and they cost about $30, and the pellets I also ordered and they cost $18. So 48 bucks really isn't that bad. If you're a gardener, instead of buying good topsoil, which can cost $6 to $8 a bag, you can just use the high nutrient soil that your compost produces. Depending on how big your compost is, this one's kind of small compared to like someone that like a heavy gardener would use. Depending on how many raw materials you add to it, you can easily make up the price of the pellets and the worms that you order through not buying bags of soil and using the soil from your compost. These are the pellets that I use to add to the compost, and they're just like compressed organic material, which they look like this, and they just add to the good soil accumulation. There is some maintenance you have to do, but it is minor. You have to add the pellets in. You have to keep the compost moist in order for it to decompose and the worms to stay alive. And you do have to turn it over every once in a while so the materials filter through. Now the question is, how do you manage the waste that isn't organic matter? And the answer is recycling. Whether it's plastics or metals or paper, recycling is going to help reduce waste on Earth. Recycling primarily paper and plastics, but also glass and metals, will maybe not change the amount of garbage you have waiting to get picked up, but it will change the amount of trash being put into a landfill somewhere. By doing this, trash is not going to get put into landfills, but is going to be reused or repurposed in some other form. Besides managing your waste properly, it can be even easier to prevent the amount of waste you produce. In a household, the major ways of going about doing this are buying things you will not need to throw out or buying things you can repurpose. You can start with using things like these and these, as well as these, aka glass and metal, as opposed to these and these, paper and plastic. You're not going to reuse paper or plastic cups, plates, and utensils. So if you eliminate their use and use glass and metal plates, cups, and utensils, it will greatly reduce your waste production. Currently, I'm implementing this plan in my household. My compost is underway, in which all of our organic waste we produce in the kitchen is being decomposed in. My family no longer is buying paper plates, cups, and utensils, and we are recycling all the paper, plastic, and metal, which is primarily coming from the packaging on the food and drinks we purchase. My plan has only been in action for a week, and results have not yet been clear because our trash has yet to be picked up. However, it is clear that we are finding the need to use the trash can less and less, and finding the need to collect our organic waste more and more.